Stop for a moment and take a deep breath. Wherever you are right now, whatever time it is in your country, I want you to notice something. The world around you may feel big and overwhelming, but right now, this moment, this message is for your heart. Tell me in the comments, which country are you watching from, and what time is it there? I want to know where your heart is at this very moment, because what I'm about to share is not just a lesson. It is the difference between living half alive in illusions or awakening to a truth that can change everything. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you chase, struggle, or achieve, life still feels empty? Like the world is crushing you, and yet something inside whispers that life is bigger than this. If you stay with me until the end, you will feel the world shrink and your soul expand. You will begin to see why everything you've been chasing has been keeping you small, and how to finally rise above it, free, awake, and unstoppable. This is your life, or your death. Which one will you choose? The heart touches eternity. When the world becomes small, your soul begins to feel something bigger than anything you have ever known. All the fears that once held you back start to fade. Regret, guilt, and worry lose their weight. What once seemed so important, money, success, recognition, even the judgments of others suddenly feels tiny, almost meaningless. In that quiet, you discover something greater. Endless love, endless light, and a presence that fills everything. The world shrinks, but your heart grows vast, stretching wider than you ever imagined. Everything you have ever chased in life, approval, comfort, power, was only a shadow, a reflection of the truth that has always existed within you. You begin to see that the real home of the soul is not in any place or possession, but in this endless presence. Time no longer scares you, because you understand that your heart is part of something eternal. Moments of pain or loss, of confusion or longing, no longer trap you. Instead, they guide you toward this vast, quiet, unshakable space within yourself. You realize that the feeling of eternity is not somewhere far away. It is not about waiting for tomorrow or reaching some place. It is already here, inside your own heart. When the world becomes small, it is as if a veil is lifted, and you can finally breathe freely, seeing life for what it truly is. The heart that touches eternity no longer clings to what fades, for it has found the unending, the timeless, and the infinite within itself. Surrender becomes natural. When the world feels small, surrender begins to rise in the heart naturally, as if the soul remembers a truth it has always known but forgotten. It is not something you force or try to achieve. It comes quietly, like a gentle wind entering a room, soft but undeniable. All the struggles to control life, to bend reality to your will, to protect yourself from disappointment, start to lose their meaning. You begin to realize that life has its own rhythm, a flow far greater than any plan you can create, and that trying to hold everything in your hands only makes the heart heavy and restless. You see, when we cling tightly to outcomes, we tie our happiness to things that are fleeting. We spend so much energy worrying about what might happen, trying to guess what is best, fearing what could go wrong, that we forget the presence that has always been holding us. Surrender is not giving up. It is the moment the heart remembers that it has never been alone, that it has always been guided, protected, and loved by something greater than itself. In this surrender, something miraculous begins to happen. The fears that once ruled your mind, fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of what others think, start to melt. You no longer need to fight every battle, to solve every problem, to carry every burden. You begin to see that what you cannot hold, control, or understand is not weakness in you, but the invitation to release your grip and let life carry you. When you allow this, the heart feels lighter, freer, and more alive than ever before. Surrender is not about stopping action or abandoning responsibility. It is about acting from a place of inner calm rather than panic. It is about making choices with wisdom, but without attachment to the outcome. It is about moving forward in life fully, but without the anxiety of needing everything to happen exactly the way you imagine. The heart that surrenders naturally does not resist change. It does not fear endings or losses. It sees every moment, every joy, every challenge, every heartbreak as part of the unfolding of something infinitely greater than itself. And when surrender takes root, you notice a profound peace flowing through your life. Small setbacks no longer shatter your spirit. The opinions of others, the judgments, the pressures, they lose their power. You are no longer controlled by the world. Instead, the world becomes something you observe, something you experience without being pulled into its chaos. There is a quiet joy that grows in the spaces where control used to be, a joy that comes from knowing that everything you need is already provided, even if it is not yet visible. Surrender also allows the heart to receive. When you stop fighting against life, you open yourself to blessings that were always present but hidden behind resistance. Opportunities, guidance, and moments of clarity flow in ways you could never have forced. You discover that letting go is not weakness, but the truest form of strength, the strength to trust, to believe, and to live fully in the present moment. Eventually, surrender becomes effortless. It is no longer a conscious decision, but a natural rhythm of the heart. You wake each day with a calmness that no problem can disturb. You breathe deeply, knowing that life is unfolding exactly as it should. You walk through the world without fear, without clinging, without doubt. And in this space, freedom blossoms, the freedom to live, the freedom to love, the freedom to simply be. The heart that surrenders naturally experiences life in its fullest sense. It is no longer burdened by the need to control or understand everything. It rests in the eternal presence that has always been guiding it. It sees clearly that nothing in the world is permanent, but the peace and light that come from surrender are timeless. And in that surrender, the soul discovers the greatest truth of all, that life is not about what happens to you, but about who you become as you flow with it. Detachment is freedom. When the world feels small, detachment comes as a gentle, natural awakening in the heart. It is not about leaving life behind or shutting yourself off from people or responsibilities. It is about understanding that nothing in this world is permanent, and that clinging too tightly to anything, whether it is wealth, success, comfort, or even relationships, only weighs the heart down. True freedom comes when you loosen your grip on the things that are fleeting and turn your focus inward to what is eternal and unshakable. At first, detachment can feel strange. We are taught to hold on, to protect, to secure, to control. But the heart knows a deeper truth. The tighter we cling, the smaller we become. We are like birds trapped in a cage of our own making, beating our wings against walls of fear and expectation. When detachment begins, the cage dissolves, the heart spreads its wings. Suddenly, what once seemed so essential, the things we thought defined us, the things we believed we could not live without, becomes light, almost invisible. And in that lightness, the heart discovers space, peace, and joy. Detachment does not mean indifference. It does not mean you stop caring or stop loving. It means you care without fear. You love without needing to possess. You give without expecting anything in return. You act in the world fully, but your soul is not tied to the outcome. When you learn this, every situation, every relationship, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth rather than a source of anxiety. The heart that is detached moves through life freely, without the constant weight of attachment that causes suffering. When the heart practices detachment, it begins to see the world clearly. People, events, and circumstances no longer have the power to shake your peace. You understand that your true home is not in what is outside, but in the space within the space that is vast, calm, and eternal. The world may shift, things may be lost, people may disappoint, but your heart remains steady. It is anchored in a truth that cannot be touched or taken away. Detachment also opens the heart to receive what is truly valuable. When we stop clinging to what is fleeting, we make room for the blessings that have always been around us, but were hidden behind our grasping hands. Opportunities flow more easily. Insights appear naturally. Love arrives without conditions, without fear, without limits. Life becomes lighter, not because it has changed, but because the heart has. Eventually, detachment becomes effortless. It is no longer a conscious effort, but a natural rhythm of the soul. You no longer suffer from losing what cannot be held. You no longer fear what may disappear. You no longer tie your happiness to what is uncertain. The heart becomes free because it has learned that nothing in this world can truly bind it, and everything that is real is already within. In this freedom, you discover the deepest truth. The things we hold tightly are often illusions, and the things we release are the keys to the soul. Detachment does not take away. It gives everything. It gives lightness. It gives peace. It gives clarity. It gives a heart that can embrace life fully, without fear, without grasping, without need. And in that embrace, the soul touches a kind of freedom that the world can never take away. True wealth is spiritual. When the world feels small, you begin to understand what true wealth really is. It is not measured in money, property, or fame. It is not found in the praise of others, the comforts of life, or the possessions we work so hard to collect. All of these things are temporary, like water slipping through your fingers. True wealth is something deeper, something that no one can take from you, and nothing in this world can diminish. True wealth lives in the heart. It is the richness of patience when life challenges you, the abundance of gratitude when life gives you even the smallest blessing, the quiet strength of trust when you face uncertainty. It is the love that grows without expectation, the joy that cannot be shaken by loss, and the peace that remains steady even in the stormiest times. When you begin to see life this way, the things the world calls important, money, status, recognition, suddenly feel light, almost meaningless. They are only shadows of what is real. The heart that understands this wealth begins to live differently. You no longer chase things you cannot control. You no longer feel empty when a desire goes unfulfilled. You begin to collect treasures that cannot fade, treasures that shine inside you forever. Every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every time you forgive or let go, you are gathering this wealth. Every moment you choose love over fear, generosity over greed, and presence over distraction, your heart grows richer than any gold could ever make it. This kind of wealth is not about what you can gain from the outside world. It is about what you cultivate inside. It cannot be measured, it cannot be counted, and it cannot be taken. You can lose possessions, fail in business, be rejected by people, but your spiritual wealth remains untouched. It is yours, fully and completely, at all times. And the more you grow it, the freer you feel. The more you feel it, the lighter your life becomes. When the world feels small, you realize that the richest people are not those who hold the most, but those whose hearts are full. They have no fear of loss because they have everything that matters. They have no need to compare themselves to others because they understand that the truest abundance is within. And when your heart begins to feel this way, you start to see the beauty in every moment, even in hardship, because each moment gives you the chance to grow your inner wealth, to become more patient, more loving, more awake. This understanding changes everything. Life no longer feels like a struggle to gather possessions or chase approval. Life becomes a garden where the heart blooms, where every experience is fertilizer for growth, and every challenge is an opportunity to deepen the riches of the soul. True wealth is not something you can see or touch, it is something you feel, something that glows quietly inside, guiding your steps, comforting you in loneliness, giving you courage in fear, and bringing peace that no one and nothing can take away. When you embrace this kind of wealth, the world begins to feel smaller. You no longer need to compare, to fight, to prove yourself. You are rich in what truly matters. Your heart has found abundance in a place no one else can reach, and this wealth makes everything else light. The world may crumble, people may fail you, circumstances may change, but your soul, your heart, your inner treasures remain untouched, eternal, and endlessly fulfilling. This is the wealth of the heart, the kind of richness that opens your eyes to life's true meaning. It is the treasure that grows the more you give it away, the more you share love, patience, and kindness. It is infinite, and it is always yours. Pride falls, humility rises. When the world feels small, pride begins to lose its hold on the heart, and humility rises naturally, almost effortlessly. Everything we once thought gave us power, our accomplishments, knowledge, reputation, and status starts to feel insignificant. What seemed so important before, the things we used to measure ourselves against, now appear tiny, almost meaningless. In their place, a quiet, gentle awareness grows, a recognition of something far greater than ourselves, something eternal that our hearts have always longed for. Pride is heavy. It ties us to outcomes, to comparison, to fear of failure and judgment. It makes the heart restless, always chasing approval, always trying to prove itself. But when the world becomes small, pride begins to fall away. The need to impress, the need to dominate, the need to be seen or celebrated, these things lose their power. The heart realizes that true dignity does not come from being bigger or better than others. It comes from being connected, from being grounded in what is real and eternal. Humility is not weakness. It is not thinking less of yourself. It is seeing yourself as you truly are, small in comparison to the vastness of existence, yet infinitely valuable in the eyes of what created you. Humility allows the heart to rest. It allows you to live without the constant pressure of needing to defend yourself or prove your worth. It frees the soul from the exhausting games of ego, comparison, and fear. As humility grows, the heart becomes lighter, softer, and more open. You begin to listen more, to understand more, to forgive more easily. You are no longer trapped by resentment, anger, or envy. Instead, the heart begins to expand, embracing life with gentleness and clarity. You begin to see the beauty in others without feeling threatened, to rejoice in their success without jealousy, and to treat every moment, every person, and every situation with respect and awareness. The fall of pride and the rise of humility also bring clarity. The heart sees what truly matters. Life's fleeting achievements no longer blind you. The praise of others no longer sways you. What matters is not what you can control or show to the world, but the state of your own heart, the sincerity of your intentions, and the depth of your connection to the eternal. In humility, the heart finds strength it never knew it had. It is paradoxical. The more you let go of pride, the more powerful and free you feel. The less you try to hold on to status and recognition, the more grounded and unshakable you become. The heart no longer fears loss, rejection, or failure, because it knows its true value is not in what it owns or achieves, but in what it is, a vessel of light, love, and presence. Humility also opens the heart to learning and growth. When pride falls, the soul is no longer trapped in the illusion of knowing everything or needing to be perfect. Mistakes become teachers, challenges become opportunities, relationships become mirrors reflecting your own growth rather than battlegrounds of ego. And in this space, the heart experiences a kind of freedom that the world cannot take away. Freedom from fear, from envy, from constant comparison, and from the exhausting weight of trying to be more than what you truly are. When the world becomes small, you begin to understand that humility is the door to a greater heart, a heart that is open, free, and capable of love without conditions. Pride fades not because it is forced out, but because the soul naturally turns to what is real and eternal. The world shrinks and the heart expands, rising into a space of peace, clarity, and profound beauty. Humility is the quiet power that lasts, the strength that endures, the light that guides the soul. And in this light, the heart feels infinite, connected, and awake, no longer trapped by the illusions of importance or the fleeting weight of the ego. Pain reveals the heart. When the world feels small, pain becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. It is through loss, disappointment, heartbreak, and suffering that the heart begins to see itself clearly. The things we cling to, our comfort, our control, our plans, our illusions of stability, begin to fade. And in that fading, we are left with the bare truth. The heart is far greater than the challenges it faces. Pain has a way of stripping away the layers we build around ourselves. When life hurts, when something is taken from us, when a dream falls apart, it is as if the world is saying, "Look beyond this. See what truly matters." The mind may resist, the ego may scream, and the heart may ache, but beneath the surface, a quiet awakening begins. Suddenly, what was hidden, the depth, resilience, and capacity of the heart, comes to light. In these moments, the heart learns patience. It learns endurance. It learns that suffering is not a punishment, but a doorway. Every tear, every loss, every moment of despair is a key that opens a door to understanding the self and the world in a deeper, more meaningful way. When the world feels small, the things that once seemed insurmountable lose their weight. They become teachers, guiding the soul toward clarity, humility, and love. Pain also reveals what is truly valuable. When the distractions of the world fall away, when possessions, status, and recognition lose their meaning, the heart turns inward. It notices what it has always needed: presence, love, connection, and trust in what is eternal. The false priorities that once consumed energy and attention fade, and the soul begins to rise above fear, pride, and greed. In suffering, the heart discovers what it is made of and what it has been searching for all along. The process is not easy. Pain can shake the foundations of who we think we are. It can bring fear, doubt, and confusion. But if the heart stays open, it learns that this shaking is a blessing. It loosens the grip of attachment, dissolves illusions, and makes room for clarity. The stronger the pain, the deeper the awakening, the heavier the loss, the higher the soul can rise. Pain, in this sense, is not something to escape, but something to embrace, to learn from, and to allow to transform you from within. Through pain, the heart learns compassion. It begins to understand the suffering of others, the struggles hidden behind every face, every story, every life. It becomes tender, not fragile, strong, not hardened. The heart begins to flow with empathy, patience, and wisdom that it could never have known without experiencing its own trials. Pain turns the heart into a vessel of understanding, love, and connection. And when the world feels small, the soul realizes a great secret. What we thought was unbearable was actually the path to awakening. The hardships that seemed cruel were the gates leading to clarity, to freedom, to a heart that is awake and expansive. The heart discovers that nothing in life can truly break it. Even in loss, even in grief, even in suffering, the soul finds a depth of strength and beauty that the world cannot take away. Pain is the mirror in which the heart sees itself. It strips away the unnecessary, it reveals the hidden, it opens the door to the eternal, and in this revelation, the heart becomes larger, lighter, and freer than it has ever been. The world shrinks, and the heart expands. The heart learns that it is not defined by what happens to it, but by how deeply it can love, how fully it can trust, and how gracefully it can rise after every fall. In the end, the heart realizes that pain is a gift, a secret teacher that awakens the soul to its true potential, its infinite capacity, and its connection to what is eternal. The suffering that once seemed unbearable now feels sacred, for it is the doorway to freedom, awakening, and the vastness of the heart itself. The world is temporary, the Creator is eternal. When the world feels small, a profound truth begins to reveal itself. Everything we chase, everything we cling to, everything we measure as success or failure is temporary. The houses we build, the money we earn, the recognition we receive, even the people we hold closest, they are all fleeting. Time moves, circumstances change, and life flows in ways beyond our control. All that we thought was permanent suddenly appears fragile, uncertain, and limited. And yet, beneath this impermanence, there is something that does not change. There is something eternal that holds all things in its presence, something infinite that has always been and will always be. The more the heart sees the smallness of the world, the more it turns to what is eternal. This is the great paradox of life. The world may shrink, fade, or disappear, but what is real, what is everlasting, remains. When we cling to the temporary, we are constantly in fear. We worry about losing what we love, about failing, about not being enough. We measure our worth by what can be taken, destroyed, or forgotten. But when we turn to the eternal, fear falls away. Worry loses its grip. The heart no longer trembles at the thought of loss, because it knows that the things that truly matter cannot be taken, destroyed, or lost. They exist beyond time, beyond circumstance, beyond the shifting world. Understanding the temporary nature of the world changes everything. It teaches humility, patience, and gratitude. We begin to see that chasing endless desires or seeking endless validation is futile. It is like trying to fill an ocean with a single cup of water. No matter how much we pour, the need remains. But when the heart turns to what is eternal, every moment becomes meaningful. Every experience, every interaction, every breath becomes sacred. We stop measuring life by what can fade and start measuring it by what lasts forever. Love, presence, awareness, trust, and connection to the eternal source of all things. This awareness also brings freedom. When the heart understands that the world is temporary, it no longer fears change. It no longer suffers from loss. It no longer clings to illusions that bring only pain. The heart moves through life, lightly, joyfully, and courageously. It knows that even if everything it sees disappears, the core of its being, its connection to the eternal, remains untouched. This is the deepest freedom, the kind that cannot be shaken by circumstance, and the kind that no one can take away. The Creator's presence becomes visible in every fleeting moment, in the laughter of a child, in the warmth of a sunbeam, in the quiet of the night. In the love between souls, the eternal flows into the temporary, revealing its essence. When the heart recognizes this, it no longer fears the impermanence of the world. It no longer clings, no longer suffers, no longer feels small or powerless. Instead, it feels anchored, held, and completely alive in the midst of life's constant changes. The heart that understands this truth begins to live differently. It values experiences over possessions, love over recognition, and presence over distraction. It seeks meaning not in what can fade, but in what is eternal. And with this understanding comes clarity. The world is temporary, yes, but the soul is vast. The connection to the eternal is always available, always constant, always holding the heart, even when everything else falls away. In this awakening, the heart sees the beauty of life as it truly is. Fleeting, fragile, precious, and sacred. Every joy is deeper, every sorrow becomes a lesson, and every moment becomes an opportunity to touch what lasts forever. The heart no longer fears endings, because it knows that what is eternal has no beginning and no end. It rests completely and fully in the infinite presence that is the foundation of all existence. The world may change, fade, and disappear, but the eternal remains. The heart learns to live in this truth, and in doing so, discovers a peace and freedom that the world can never take away. This is the secret of the heart. When the world shrinks, the eternal expands, and the soul awakens to the vastness that has always been its home. Heart over everything. When the world feels small, the heart rises above everything else. All the fears, worries, and desires that once weighed it down begin to lose their power. The constant need to achieve, to impress, to control, and to hold on to what seems important starts to fade. The heart begins to understand that nothing in the world, no wealth, no status, no approval, no comfort, can ever truly satisfy its longing. There is only one thing that matters, and that is the heart itself, fully awake, fully aware, fully connected to the eternal presence that flows through all things. The heart becomes the center of everything. It no longer judges its worth by what it owns, what it achieves, or what others think. It no longer measures life by success, recognition, or comfort. Instead, it measures life by love, presence, trust, and awareness. Every breath, every moment, every interaction becomes sacred. The heart sees that the world, with all its noise, chaos, and illusions, is small because it cannot hold the vastness of what the soul is capable of. And in realizing this, the heart begins to expand, touching a freedom that nothing can take away. When the heart rises above everything, it learns to love without expectation. It gives without needing reward. It forgives without holding resentment. It embraces life fully, even its pain and loss, knowing that everything is part of a greater flow. The heart learns that true strength is not in dominating the world, but in rising above it, remaining steady, calm, and awake, no matter what comes or goes. The heart sees that it is not defined by the temporary circumstances around it, but by its own connection to what is eternal. In this space, the heart also finds clarity. It can see the difference between what matters and what does not. The petty arguments, the fleeting disappointments, the endless distractions, these no longer disturb it. The heart no longer chases illusions, no longer fears endings, no longer feels small or powerless. It becomes a light in the world, not because it seeks to shine, but because it is alive, awake, and aligned with the eternal source that created it. When the heart rises above everything, it also becomes free from fear. Fear loses its grip, because the heart knows that life's true foundation is not in what can be lost, but in what is eternal. The heart no longer trembles at rejection, loss, or change. It no longer seeks to control others or circumstances. Instead, it flows with life naturally, embracing each moment as a gift, a lesson, and an opportunity to grow. This awakened heart understands a secret that the world cannot teach. The heart itself is everything. When the heart is alive, awake, and connected, nothing else truly matters. Even the world's biggest fears, desires, and distractions shrink to nothing in comparison to the freedom, peace, and clarity that come from the heart's presence. The soul that rests in this awareness is unshakable. It is steady in chaos, light in darkness, and strong in weakness. And in this realization, the heart discovers the greatest truth of all. The world may fade, people may disappoint, possessions may be lost, and circumstances may change, but the heart remains. It remains full of love, full of presence, full of life. It becomes the anchor, the source, and the home. The heart is everything because it holds the eternal within it. When the heart rises above everything, life is no longer about chasing what is small or temporary. Life is about nurturing what is infinite, vast, and real within. The heart becomes the center of all meaning, the compass that guides every action, every choice, and every thought. It is a heart that cannot be shaken, a soul that cannot be broken, a being that has discovered the secret of true freedom. The heart over everything is the end of struggle, the end of fear, and the beginning of peace. It is the place where love, clarity, and presence meet, where the soul finally awakens to its full capacity, and where life is seen for what it truly is, a fleeting world in which the heart alone holds eternity. Now, take a moment and let it all sink in. The world may feel small, but your heart is vast. Everything you have chased, everything you have feared, everything you have clung to, was only a shadow of the truth that has always been within you. Remember this: your soul is not measured by what you possess, what you achieve, or what others think of you. It is measured by the love you carry, the peace you nurture, and the freedom you allow yourself to feel. Your heart is your compass, your anchor, and your home. As you step back into the world, let these lessons stay with you. Let surrender become natural. Let detachment free you. Let humility guide your actions. Let your pain awaken you. Let the truth of the eternal illuminate your path. And above all, let your heart rise over everything, so that no fear, no loss, and no challenge can ever make you small again. Take a deep breath. Feel your heart. Feel the vastness inside you. And know this: the world may change, people may disappoint, life may challenge you, but your heart, your soul, and your connection to what is eternal will always remain. If this message touched you, reflect on it, share it, and return to it whenever life feels heavy. Let it guide you, inspire you, and remind you that the real power, the real freedom, and the real life has always been in your heart. Your heart is everything. Guard it, nourish it, let it rise,